Coming up in this evening's news, Prime Minister Andrew Holness joins other world leaders in condemning the killing of George Floyd by the police in Minneapolis on May 25. Residents of Cockburn Gardens in St. Andrew demonstrate against the fatal shooting of SHAWN Ferguson during a police operation this morning. Still tonight, 4 additional persons have tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, taking the total of the country's confirmed cases to 595, while 385 persons have recovered. And SAN-MER-NA Foundation and J.U.TC workers hand over care packages to persons with special needs who are unable to access the service due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Good evening, and now the news in detail. Prime Minister Andrew Holness joined with other world leaders in condemning the police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, who died after a white police officer, Derek Chauvin, pressed his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck on May 25. The Prime Minister stated that he is extremely concerned about similar injustices here in Jamaica.
Personally, I am horrified and saddened by what I saw captured on video. And while I join other world leaders in condemning this and other human rights injustices, I'm also very sensitive and extremely concerned by similar injustices here in Jamaica. Our Constitution and our Charter of Rights guarantees the right to life, liberty, and security of the person, and the right not to be deprived thereof except in the execution of a sentence of a court. The Charter makes it clear that the state has an obligation to promote universal respect for and observance of human rights and freedoms. Within the general scheme of our Constitution, therefore, government is not merely a passive observer of fundamental rights and freedoms. Government, its organs and agents, have a duty not to take life or deprive anyone of their rights and freedoms. Our country has gone through decades of struggle to develop transparent and effective systems to address the treatment of citizens by the state, including incidents where life is taken. While we can never declare victory or assume that every agent, functionary, or employee of the government understands and faithfully uses their authority in accordance with the Charter, my government is committed to ensuring that where breaches occur, we will follow due process and thoroughly investigate so that justice is served.
The Prime Minister addressed the death of 81-year-old Noel Chambers, who was imprisoned for 40 years.
Earlier this week was brought to my attention the death of Mr. Noel Chambers while in custody within the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center. And that is both tragic and heartbreaking. And I would like to express my sincere condolences to his family. This tragedy is undoubtedly ranked amongst the most dreadful inheritances of a penal and judicial system that are in urgent need of reform. The Minister of National Security has commissioned a comprehensive audit into the circumstances leading up to Mr. Chambers' passing. A key component of this audit will be a detailed multi-agency examination of the loopholes that may exist across the systems in order to ensure that we remedy any likelihood of this situation repeating itself.
In news from the capital, residents of Cockburn Gardens in St. Andrew demonstrated against the fatal shooting of SHAWN Ferguson that occurred during a police operation in the area this morning. More on this story with Killeen May.
There was a fiery protest in Cockburn Garden, St. Andrew earlier today as residents demonstrated against the fatal shooting of a community member during a reported police operation in the area. Reports are that there was a police operation in the York Avenue section of the community at about 9:30 a.m. when a man was shot dead. The deceased has been identified as SHAWN Ferguson. Following the incident, residents took to the streets with placards chanting, "We want justice," and blocked the road and set a vehicle in the area ablaze, claiming the man was killed in cold blood. Our news team visited the area and spoke with some of the residents. One resident gave her account of what she said had transpired.
I come out of my yard this morning, and when I come out through my gate, I look behind me, I see a black jump out. When I see the black jump out, it takes time I chuckle, I come behind me. When it reached near to some short drive, one youth is sitting there, so look at turn to the youth and said to the youth, say, "Oh, you're not gonna work." The youth say, "I'm good." Them continue to chuckle the vehicle, looking up on the avenue, them spot the two youth over on the right hand side, stand up there, so. Them stop at the two little youth them. Me stand up over on the left hand side, them to the right hand side. The policeman on the right hand side, indicate the two youth them for come on to the van that are over on the left hand side, which part liquor head there. Liquor head start ask Jaffa if he never hear shot. The youth said no. Him there then question the youth, and the youth has said no. Him turn to the youth, the other youth, and said to the youth, say, "Which part you live?" The youth point and say, "In the lane there, sir." Him say, "For come show them which part him live." That's Sean, right? That's Sean. That's the one where them kill. When the youth are come, when the youth are walk now, them drive the van from the yard, go to the lane corner. When them reach at the lane corner, the three of them come out of the jeep. When them come out of the jeep, the two little youth they in front of them. The three of them they behind the youth, and them walk the youth go straight down to which part the youth live. And you want them to say, when we look at my time at 7:33, almost 7:35, and when we look at me here to the youth dead at 7:45, 10 minutes them use and kill the youth. Them never hold nobody with no gun. Little head a liar, no shootout and no gun thing. Me the dead, and if you want, you can carry look head right in front of me. Make me look upon him and ask him who him kill the youth for. Cause me the dead. The only place me not add and me not take off is only when them kill him in the yard. Me never dead. But from them I come on the avenue and me and them come straight up till them tell them stop the youth them and start questioning the youth them and carry the youth them go down in the lane. Me the dead I see that.
Other residents claim that the authorities are not protecting residents and this is an act of cold-blooded police killing.
Michael in Kroma, Henry, you know. Yeah, I'm a singer. Yes, I heard about it, and it's not only happening here in Jamaica. It's happening in America. You see, the thing is, we as black people, we don't have a society to protect us. We are still on the same slave mentality. William Garden, Paul Bogle, you know what I'm saying? The white man have a society to protect him when he's arrested, even in the army. If you should be in the war in Iraq. Listen, it was a very cold-blooded act. Because if you capture someone and them don't have a weapon, they don't have no right to shoot them. Because I was on the TV talking about it. There are good officers and bad officers. So it's just clean. Certain things need to clean up because we need police, but we don't need corruption. You know, and this make a community hate police. Everybody need police. But if you're going to have a man just come in and catch you as a cameraman, him don't know you, you know. But you come from this era and you get shot and killed. Anybody would be upset about this. So nobody in the community is fighting police. Who they are fighting is the society, is the serve and protect that we need. Serve and protect. Even in America, those 3 officers that did that, you know, the 4 of them, you know, they got charged, you know. And a lot of officers are upset about it. So it's the same thing going on here in Jamaica. People need to know, say, police and community is one. But actions like these, it totally, and then you have good officers feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to change, and this was a very wicked killing because, listen, even if somebody should be wanted, and we don't know this young man as in nothing like that. This is not for us. This is the slavery thing, the slavery mentality where them come and hunt and kill black people.
Knowledge of my youth. Look at Ednago, no school. No school, look at Ednago. Every time he come in and say, we protest about school. But the one have to protest about it. Look at Ed need for go, Angela Brown need for go, COCKBURN down upon the map. We're not active now, not at all. Not at all. We got through 2 years with a war? No, we can't do it no more. Gunman and police, we can't take it no more in here.
Member of Parliament for South West St. Andrew, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, in speaking with our news team, urged residents to give all the information they have to the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM.
And so what is true is that I'm urging everybody to make sure INDECOM has the information so that justice can be served. I'm also encouraging everybody, and I will lead that, to keep our voices going until those elements we have identified in the police force who are behaving like gangsters, that they are no longer in the police force and that they can't come down here, come wreak havoc and terror on poor people because them living in the ghetto. So what is true, which is why I've always been talking about what is needed in the constituency to quell the violence. I, with a heavy heart, voted for the state of emergency. I voted because we were wanting the police to protect us, so the police can't come now and brutalize us. I have always said that we need more than police and soldiers to solve the problems that are here. We do, and I'm ready to do that. So we need much, much more than that. We need individuals to pull people together. We need PMI that the government has pulled funding from. The government has pulled funding from PMI, but that's the work PMI does. PMI comes into the community, talk to people on the ground, pick up things, and then they pull the community together.
Dr. Brown-Burke also said that ongoing shootings have been reported even in the midst of a state of emergency.
Having just steps away from where the police are, you have the drive-by. And I think it's at least 2 drive-bys we have had there since we have had the state of emergency. So something has to give. We have to do something differently.
What are you recommending now?
So there are a couple of things. I believe that Hunts Bay has to take notice because there are a number of communities, this is not the only community, who has been complaining about that particular policeman and his attitude and his style of policing. It is one that does not recognize individuals as being human beings. It is one that is very disrespectful to individuals. It's one that terrorizes them, take them picture, and the next thing you know, the next policeman come with a picture, I look for that man. These are the stories. I know them. I have said them to the police. I have said them to the commissioner. And I agree with them. I would feel unsafe if I were living here and the Littlehead still had the right to come in here as a policeman. I would be unsafe. Constable Irons. And so if I would feel unsafe, they are going to feel unsafe. And I have a responsibility to make the representation that that does not continue so that they do not feel unsafe.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I am Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen. In news from Manchester, the Mandeville police in the parish have launched a manhunt for a man whom they say is wanted for questioning in connection with the death of his common-law wife, whose body was discovered with multiple wounds inside her house in the Hearties community yesterday. The deceased has been identified as Shanley Bailey, mother of 4, said to be in her mid-30s. Reports from the police coming into our news center are that shortly after 2 p.m., residents in the community who had overheard the couple in a domestic dispute earlier in the day went to investigate and discovered Bailey's lifeless body lying inside the house with multiple wounds. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, the scene was processed and the victim's body was removed to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. Following an investigation, a search was launched for the common-law husband, who is also said to be the father of Bailey's 4 children. Still making news tonight, 4 additional persons have tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, taking the total of confirmed cases to 595, while 385 persons have recovered. The announcement was made a short while ago by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dunstan E. Bryan, who announced that 17 additional persons have recovered from COVID-19.
Recovery rate now then stands at 64.7%. In the meantime, 4 new samples have tested positive for COVID-19, bringing the country's total confirmed cases to 595. All 4 confirmed cases are imported and include 3 males and 1 female with age ranging from 35 to 46 years. 3 of these persons have addresses with residence in St. Anne and 1 with residence in Trelawney. All 4 had returned on cruise ships, 3 from Adventure of the Seas and 1 from MS-MERNA as part of Jamaica's controlled re-entry program. Jamaica now has 96 imported cases, 217 cases that are contacts of confirmed cases, 27 locally transmitted cases not epidemiologically linked, 235 cases linked to the workplace cluster, and 20 cases that are under investigation. Some 341 or 57% of all confirmed cases are females, and 254 or 43% are males, with age ranging from 2 months to 87 years. There are 200 or 34% active cases currently under observation, with 2 persons critically ill and no person with moderate illness from COVID-19.
Still making Mello TV news tonight, the government has reported that of the 2,320 persons who returned to Jamaica under the controlled re-entry program since April 29, who were tested for the coronavirus COVID-19, 58 samples have tested positive to date. More on this story with Killeen May.
The government has reported that of all the 2,320 persons who have returned to Jamaica under the controlled re-entry program since April 29, all have been tested for the coronavirus COVID-19 and 58 samples have tested positive to date. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement during a digital press conference at the Ministry of Health and Wellness yesterday evening. Dr. Tufton also said that the island's testing numbers are up to 13,813. Reporting from Mello TV News, I am Killeen May.
Thank you, Killeen. In other news, the Minister of Finance has announced that the COVID-19 allocation of resources for employees care program that has provided relief to some 5,000 Jamaicans has amended its arrangements with remittance companies to allow third parties with proper national identification to collect compassionate grants on behalf of beneficiaries over the age of 65. These third-party persons are required to present the application reference number and the tax registration number of the original beneficiary at the remittance agency. Still making news tonight, the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, is advising that its corporate offices have reopened to the public. More on this story with Brianna Chambers.
The Urban Development Corporation, UDC, advises that its corporate offices have reopened to the public. This, the UDC says, is in keeping with the expiration of the Government of Jamaica's work-from-home order. UDC offices in downtown Kingston, Runaway Bay, Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, and Negril have all restarted their public-facing services, with enhanced measures implemented to secure the well-being of all staff, visitors, and clients. The corporation advises the public that all UDC-owned attractions remain closed to the public at this time and will be reopened on the advice of the government. Reporting for Mello TV News, I am Brianna Chambers.
Thank you, Brianna. Still making news tonight, the Digicel Foundation has donated 1,000 tablets to enable students in need to maintain online learning during the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The tablets are valued at $14 million. 600 tablets will be given to the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, an agency of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, for distribution to disabled students, while the other 400 devices will go to the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information for distribution to other students in need. Additionally, Digicel Jamaica will provide 1,000 SIM cards with data for the students who receive the tablets, allowing them free internet service for 1 year. The devices have been fitted with software to assist students with disabilities and are lightweight to enable easy movement. Meanwhile, principal of the St. Elizabeth Technical High School, Keith Wellington, says the school has been offering extra support to students via online platforms to assist them with their continued education amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have that variance in terms of how people are reacting to it. Many of them are concerned that they are away from school and they miss being in a physical space. Some students are, however, coping fairly well. They are doing their very best in terms of trying to participate in online classes. Others have challenges in terms of wanting to, but they are unable because of where they live. Some because of socioeconomic status, they are unable to join as frequently as they would like to. So it's a variation. We have 1,700 plus students, and they come from different walks of life. But for the most part, most of them are trying their very best to participate, and they miss being here, but they understand the importance of trying to get work done while they are away. We have tried our best to facilitate them by not just sending them work or trying to do everything online, but actually we have teachers who actually call students and speak with them one-on-one, and we have been trying to help those who are finding it difficult from a socio-economic background. So we would have spent close to $1.5 million, maybe more, trying to help students who have difficulty in terms of meals and so on, by providing care packages on a weekly basis for some of them.
Mr. Wellington also outlined steps that have been taken to prepare the schools and students that are preparing to sit the CXC and CAPE examinations.
Well, we would have had to do a lot of things differently in preparation for them. For us, we have roughly 520 students in fifth form, lower six and upper six, which is a third of our population. But we have still had to enhance the campus in terms of putting in more water pipes, putting in sanitization stations, using more rooms than they would normally use for classes. So there's a lot of work we have to do in terms of from the educational side. We'll have to be putting up a lot of signs, a lot of directives, communicating with the students and the parents in preparing them to come back to school. So we'd have had online meetings with the parents and the students just to get them aware of what school is going to look like. We will also have to make adjustments to our timetable, our scheduling, how we operate in our lunch rooms, our talk shop, and so on.
And those were some of the stories making news. I'll return with other updates as the SAN-MER-NA Foundation and J.U.TC workers hand over care packages to persons with special needs who are unable to access the service due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And J. Ray and Nephew Limited has launched an initiative valued at $35 million to distribute bottles of the company's drink products free of cost to assist bar owners across Jamaica. We'll now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.
Jamaica Weekly, the voice of Jamaica, is Jamaica's newest and most exciting full-color tabloid newspaper, packed with news, sports, entertainment, and a whole lot more. Jamaica Weekly is free and is distributed every Thursday to businesses and consumers island-wide. Pick up your free copy of Jamaica Weekly today at major retail outlets near you, supermarkets, pharmacies, and service stations. For more information, call 876-616-3031. Jamaica Weekly. Pick up your free copy today.